not even going to promote this one.
2 hours and 28 minutes.
All right, we are back at it again. Good evening, everybody. This is going to be a short stream tonight. I know I'm here. I'm late. Just showing that I am working every single evening. I'm not letting anything slack off. I'm keep going. And we're just going to talk briefly about last night's list submissions. We now know everybody we're going to be facing at the tournament. And it's going to be interesting. So tonight, if you guys can see, I got all the webbing done all the way around. Canteens still have to get done, but they're a different color. They don't take much time at all. But I got through all of them. There they all are. I got through each and every single one. And we made a couple of last-minute adjustments to the list. So throughout, you guys have seen me painting 2 heavy weapons teams up. That's down to 1. I cut one of the heavy bolters, and I added another plasma gun. Going over my strategies and reviews, I realized I could get more hits off the plasma gun than I could off of the heavy bolter. And I know everybody goes, well, you gotta look out, the plasma guns get hot, you explode. Yes, this is true, but I'm gonna go with Cadians. So I'm re-rolling the ones if I don't move, and with take aim, I can re-roll those ones on the move. So as they're advancing, we're going to use a lot of take aim, and then as we hold position, we will switch over and move to using the Cadian Doctrine with take aim and get to reroll all misses. And that is a big advantage. So today we're on to the flesh, so we can move on to those washes. So we're going to be doing a couple of different flesh treatments throughout the regiment. The first one we're doing is Bugman's Glow. This is the standard GW method for doing their flesh. So let me come out into the focus area. And again, we're doing Duncan's methodology of 2 thin coats, because honestly, for all the different ways you can do flesh tones on people, the standard Games Workshop one is, I think, the most efficient and fastest. And then for special characters and things like that, I go into more depth and shade and variations. I'll do some underscore markings if I want to add some scarification or pock marking to somebody, or burn scars. I usually use a different underbase, but we're going to do a good handful in this skin treatment, and then hopefully we will get them all done tonight and at least move on to the secondary skin treatments to finish during the day. If you can hear in the background, I don't know if you can, it is raining quite hard here on the East Coast. Hurricane Michael has brought a lot of wet weather through the region, and we're suffering that. So my plans to get anything primed today were promptly cut by that, but we'll be coming back to that soon enough, and we will get those tanks ready to go. We have ended up staying with our loadout of tanks that we had during the main list, and I think they're going to make a good strike force. The Lehman Russ division moving up with a lot of the, I think, Arcturus pattern Hellhounds in the very, very lead. They're going to race ahead, get up amongst those lines, start dropping those auto hit flamers, and really sort of putting a punishing amount of damage down and making them risk exploding those in their face, causing mortal wounds. And this is sort of a wolf pack tactic that's going to go ahead, and all the while I'm going to be following up with Lehman Russes covered by a Hydra and screened with infantry. And then we've got on the other side, we've got our breaker team with our anvil with our basilisks in position, our mortar squads, and a heavy bolter squad pinning them down. And then as our reinforcement bit, we've got our Tempestus Scion unit with the plasma guns ready to drop in turn 2 or turn 3 where I need the most reinforcement. If they have to reinforce the anvil to shore it up a little bit, that's fine. If they need to drop in and provide additional screen because the tanks haven't pushed up far enough or are still being challenged by assaulting units, that's where they'll go in that case. And then roving around in there, we have our Tech Priest, which is moving up with the main screen. He's going to be trying to keep Pask alive. I'm not even going to worry about giving wounds back to the Hellhounds unless they're still on the main line, having taken some whacks if I get an Alpha Strike coming my way. Alright, that's him. Alright, those are the two sergeants that are getting that treatment. These guys will get a different treatment down the line. So I want to keep a nice spread of the different tones of the different parts of the world of Normandy represented throughout the regiment. So this is going to be our Bugman's guys. And then we're going to mix it up with some rat skin flesh on some of them. We're going to do some really high pallid schemes. We're going to be using Mornfang Brown as one of the bases, along with Rhinox Hide and Tau Light Ochre. Those are going to be our bases for different flesh tones throughout the regiment. Keeps a more varied spread. Normandy is a world with continents in several different climate zones around the planet. So I wanted a variation of skin tone in there to show off the different regions of the planet and how the colonists have evolved since the initial waves landed there in the Dark Age of Technology. Because obviously people from the Northern Forest region are going to be far more pale than people who were living on sort of the tropical coastal regions of what I guess you would call the Mediterranean North African coast type climate that exists around the Normandy capital. Continent Normandy's a world archipelagos. Alright, so let's keep getting this first skin layer down. And just really we're laying it down gently so that we don't cross anything we've already painted. Reduce the number of touch-ups we need to go back through and do. It's a pretty simple step. Some people get daunted by this. I see more models with great armor paint jobs out in the world and then just missing or just gray pieces of flesh, and I don't know why people get scared off by the flesh step. It's one of the easier ones. I guess people just don't think about it as much, and therefore they have a harder time doing it. Alright, so let me just do one touch-up on this guy's uniform. I noticed the cuff of his sleeve didn't get painted at all up under here, so we're going to get that touched up. There we go. Now you're in your regulation uniform. That's the way to be, trooper. Look smart and snappy. Every time I'm just thinking about the guards in training, all I can think about is Lieutenant Sobel from Band of Brothers. You want to kill Germans? Not with this. Wouldn't take this rusty piece of shit. I can do that whole bit. In fact, there's not much of Band of Brothers I don't think I can quote. I can't quote. I am a huge fan of that. I think Tom Hanks and all the team on that one, and the superb performances by many, many actors, including my favorite cameo by Jimmy Fallon. Hi, Jimmy. I saw you there. Love that series. Absolutely excellent. Read all the different books by all the different guys who were in it that they took the accounts from. They're great reads. I highly recommend Malarkey's book. I cannot remember the title of it right now, but you can find it. It's Dominic Malarkey, I believe, is his full name. His was one of the most excellent accounts. And of course, read Captain Winter's book. It's really in depth. Talks a lot about the command level stratagems that were going on as well. You get a look at a lot of different levels of the war through his book. Another one I would recommend is I cannot remember You know, it's going to have to come to me. Somebody will have to remind me in comments. Riggs, what book about the Battle of Bulge were you talking about? Written by one of the members of the 101st, and I will endeavor to look that up. Alright, missing just his eyebrow under there. I want to get that without getting too much flesh tone on the helmet. I always have to go back and touch that up anyways. It's sort of inevitable after the wash. Alright, we got it in there. So he's good to go. And this is going to be my night tonight, guys, is getting these guys done and finishing them up. So while I work on this other one, let me pull up what I'm going to be facing. Let's see here. Where's that post? Oh, it's on here somewhere. Ah, there we go. So, it looks like of the opponents I'm facing this weekend, I have got 3 games at this tournament. And in the tournament, there are 3 Death Guard players, 2 other Guard players in addition to myself, 2 Dark Angels, 2 Orcs players, which I'm excited to see, a World Eaters player, an Iron Warriors player, well, somebody's taken Alpha Legion, another Thousand Suns, another Space Wolves, somebody's playing just Knights. That is where my my Hellhound unit is really going to be important. Sort of swarm and take down those lead Knights. We got a Tau player, 2 Tyranid players, and a Custodes player. Now, out of those, I would really love to play the 2 Tyranids players or the maybe some of the Orcs. I would really enjoy that. I love fighting big horde armies. I would love to fight the Orc players. Most of all, because Imperial Guard versus Orcs is just where my heart is in 40k. I absolutely love it. That might happen because the biggest event that happened in my early days of working for the company was Armageddon. And it was fantastic. There was a lot of hype, so that might have some to do with that. If anybody there I'm worried about going up against in this tournament, it's facing the Knight player and the people playing Death Guard. They probably scare me the most. The Death Guard with Disgusting and Resilient are a real problem with Guard. Because no matter how much fire I put down the field, he just might get up. I might hammer him with the biggest guns in my army, and it might just not be enough if his dice are with him. So they pose a real problem. Not something I'm going to look forward to there. The Alpha Legion, you know, you never can tell. The Alpha Legion players are generally tricky. If they're worth their salt, they'll have a very interesting list that'll be custom built to do exactly what it needs to do. They'll have thought through what each unit needs to accomplish, or they'll be following one of the many online whack strategies to come in with. So I'll have to watch out for that Alpha Legion guy if we end up facing him, because he'll have some kind of plan, and it'll be up to me to figure out what it is and blunt it real quick. If I don't, he might just eat me alive. Now, the Thousand Suns player. You know, you never can tell with Thousand Suns.
Hi, how are you?
I'm halfway to Wine Drunk and watching my soap operas, which we can't watch on the real TV because Riggs is streaming.
I'll be done soon.
And we are currently down to 2 hours and 19 minutes.
Hi.
Alright, that touch-up is good.
I know, you got all excited when Tammy pulled up because you saw Dad's car.
Don't move. Oh goodness. Good boy. Yeah, Mama, get that eye. I got that hair all out of your eye. Yeah, I got it. That was probably uncomfortable.
I think that's why he digs at the side of his face. He does. If you'll notice, sometimes he gets these crazy sleepies. But sometimes
All right, so yeah,
like loose fur. I pulled out one day.
helping out my
that
dog
just,
there
like,
for a
kept
second.
coming.
Don't mind me.
Like, it
So
was
we're looking at it,
all
and
over his eye, and I have these tiny little fingers.
yeah, I think the
so-
biggest danger for me is the Death Guard. I'm not too worried about Iron Warriors. In fact, I'd really love to play the Iron Warriors. That could be fun to crush them. Custodes, not so much. But yeah, we're going to go more in depth with that tomorrow when I have some more time. I got a couple of phone interviews I need to take care of, and yeah, so I'm going to be at this for quite a while. I'll have a progress update tomorrow. We'll see how through we get to it, and we're pushing forward. Tomorrow we really need to get some work done on some tanks. If we don't, we're going to start falling behind, and I also have to build a new plasma gunner. I don't have another model for one right now. I have the kit for it. I just got to go pull him out, get him done, prime him, paint him. And I'm probably going to paint him all in one go using the preferred way of putting these guys together. Of painting them ahead of time, then assembling them. But that's it, guys. I'm going to leave a pretty short stream tonight. I got back late. I had to go see my parents because I had to let them know that Jen and I got engaged. So that was exciting news for all of us. And we can talk more about that when I come back, which will definitely be tomorrow. I'll be streaming a little bit earlier. I'll stream a bit more in the daylight, and hopefully we'll be uploading some videos. If I get to the tank videos, when I go to spray prime them, I will record that ahead of time on my mobile cameras and show you guys the technique for that. Alright, so I will see everybody soon, but I have to cut this one short this evening just because it is quite late, and it'll be easier for me just to focus head down, no distractions, and paint this up, and then I will give everybody a project update tomorrow. Not that there's a lot to see. When doing the flesh, it's hands and face, and that's really all there is to it. Alright, so I'll see everybody later. Have a good night.